Okay, The Winter War by Priscilla Shirer with Gina Detweiler. Chapter 14, Leviathan. Ivy yelled, grabbing her Chris. Look out! Collie and Christian had no time to react before the monster was upon them. It curled its long, spiked neck and lunged at Christian. Collie managed to raise his sword and smash the thing's massive snout, knocking it sideways. It flailed and splashed, creating a near tidal wave. Come back! Ivy stood in frozen terror as the twins tried to make a run for it back to the ledge, but the water was no longer still. It rocked with waves churned up by the monster, making it hard for the twins to keep their footing. If they fell, they might be burned by the boiling water or locked in the creature's jaws before they were able to recover. The creature rounded for another attack, its serpentine body just visible under the turbulent water. Ivy saw that it had a head like some prehistoric alligator. It breached again and snatched one of Collie's boots in its jaws. Collie let out a scream as his foot was pulled down into the water. It's trying to take my boot, Collie cried. Christian spun around and grabbed his brother's arm, smashing his sword against the creature's head. It let go once more, but Collie's boot was so mangled he could no longer keep his balance. Help! Christian yelled. I can't hold him. We need to help them, Ivy said. She turned to Finn. I'll try to distract that thing so you can rescue the boys, okay? Finn nodded. Ivy stepped onto the rolling water, struggling to keep her balance. She took several steps away from the twins, then pulled out her seat and deployed her shield. She waved her other arm in the air, making loud whistling noises. The creature swerved to look at her. She called to it, Hey, Toothy, come and get me. The creature dove under the water and rocketed toward her. It broke the surface, but collided with the shield and fell backward with a high-pitched scream. Ivy took a few steps backward, drawing it farther away from Finn, who had gone out to help Christian bring Collie back to the ledge. Ivy braced herself for another attack, but it never came. She stared down into the depths of the pool as the water calmed. There was no movement. The creature had suddenly disappeared. She wondered where it could have gone. Ivy lowered her shield and looked up to see Finn helping the brothers to safety. She walked over the water to join them, though her legs were shaking so badly that she was afraid they might go out from under her. You okay? Finn asked her as he let go of Collie. Christian helped his brother to sit down on the ledge to rest. I think so, she said between gasps for breath. Just give me a minute. She crouched down next to Collie, who was holding on to his crushed boot. How are you? The Leviathan almost got my boot. It's pretty mangled, Collie answered in a pained voice. Not sure about my foot. It really does hurt. A Leviathan? You mean you've seen one before? Ivy asked. Not really, just read about them. Giant sea creatures, part snake, part alligator. But how did it get in here, in an underground pool? The Leviathans are supposed to be in the open sea. This pool must go pretty deep, said Finn. If that creature came from Skatos, then this water must come from Skatos too. Maybe there's an underground river or something. So the Leviathans are guarding the mountain too, said Ivy with a sigh, from underneath. Awesome. We should get out of here, I think. The Leviathan will probably be back with more like it, Christian turned to his brother. Can you walk? I think so. I might be a little slow. Looks like this tunnel isn't going to help us much, after all, said Ivy, disappointed. Their scouting mission seemed like a total failure. The four of them made their way slowly to the opening of the spring, Collie leaning on his brother's shoulder. But instead of the outside world with a storm raging, there was only a plain wooden door. Ivy went forward, puzzled, and pushed it open. Something flashed before her eyes. She shut them against the blinding light. When she opened them again, she realized she was back in the cave with Finn, Collie, and Christian by her side. Sparks danced all around them. Collie collapsed to the floor, grunting a little. The sparks instantly went into action, gathering on his mangled boot. Soon there were so many sparks on the boot that the boot itself appeared to be made of tiny lights. The warriors watched in fascination as the boot began to unravel, the crushed parts filling out, the punctures disappearing. Collie's breath came easier, as if the pain had been instantly relieved. When the sparks departed, the boot looked as if it had never been damaged. "How's it feel?" Christian asked. "Good." Collie got to his feet and gingerly tested out his foot. He then put his full weight down and smiled, glancing up at the sparks buzzing around his head. "Thanks, guys." "You're welcome." The warriors whirled to see Ruach standing before them, as if he had been there the whole time. Ivy laughed. "Rue, thanks for the shortcut." She threw her arms around him in a hug. "We're really glad to see you, as I am you. So tell me, what have you discovered?" "We found a spring that led us inside the mountain," said Ivy. "We were hoping it might be a way to the fortress, but it only led to a green pool with this weird alligator snake creature that almost killed us. A leviathan." "Ah, leviathans." Ruach mused on this. "Creatures without fear, the coiling serpents of the sea, the most powerful ever creatures by the source." "The source made the leviathans?" said Finn, tilting his head to one side. "Why?" "For the same reason he created you. The source gave the leviathans a wide sea in which to play. They will not hurt you if you leave them alone." "We weren't bothering it at all. It bothered us," said Collie. "We were minding our own business." "In the mind of a leviathan, you were trespassing," said Ruach. "The water is its domain." "Great," said Ivy. She heaved a big sigh. "Well, it doesn't look as though we're going to get to the fortress through the underground tunnel, not with those creatures patrolling it." "Perhaps not," said Ruach. "But there may be a way after all." "Oh? How?" "You will know when the time comes." Ivy let out a sigh. "I should have known you would say that." "Hold out your hands, all of you," said Ruach. The 4 warriors obeyed, holding their hands out flat. Instantly, they felt them tingle with warmth, and then a soft glow appeared from the center of their palms, radiating outward in a star pattern. "This is my gift to you," said Ruach. "I don't see anything," said Collie, staring at his hands. The glow was even already gone. "You will in time.